Hello and welcome to Arn. This is Paul Bromwell once again, and today not only am I joined by the founder of the Four Horsemen, the creator of the Spine Buster, the 1A of tag team wrestling, our TV champion Arn Anderson, but we are joined by Brock Anderson, tearing it up in MLW, crushing it in AML. The Andersons are back and they're kicking ass. Brock, Arn, how are you today? Great to have you both with us.
Very good to have my son on here for the first time, right? With the three of us.
I think it's the second time. I think
he did do it once before a little while ago, but the first time since we've been YouTube kind of exclusive and gone to the two show a month format. So but Arn after we wrapped up last show, Brock, Arn was like, I think it's about time we had Brock on. So, and here you are, dude. I love it.
He's been asking, and I finally was like, all right, I caved. I'll be on, and I appreciate y'all having me on again.
It's a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine, as they say. And before we get into it, because this is Ask Arn and Brock, almost anything, and so we love to do these because we never know what the fans are going to say, and so it's my job to make sure that we keep it orderly and still have a lot of fun with you guys. So we're really looking forward to the father-son combo. So be creative, guys. Come up with some great questions. Growing up Anderson, right here with you, and we get to hear from both Brock and Arn's perspective. Arn, you got something on your mind before I jump into promoting some stuff?
I just feel it's a good disclaimer to the title is almost anything. Mm-hmm. So if there's something you're not comfortable with, son, just let us know and we'll go to the next.
That's the almost, Paul. That's the almost.
I'll be all right. We'll see what they got for us.
I love it. All right, cool.
All right.
Well, before we get into it and start doing all these questions and letting it rip and having a good time for the next hour or so, I want to make sure our fans know and our listeners know where they can keep up with you, Brock. And first, I want to flash up on the screen this coming Saturday, MLW. It's our Slaughterhouse event. It airs at 10 p.m. Eastern on MLW's YouTube. Guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure you go over, subscribe to the YouTube channel for MLW. They're also on beIN Sports. But look at the card. If you're watching on YouTube right now, it's a loaded card. You got Matt Riddle, Minoru Suzuki, Kenta, Paul London. But you got Brock, the Andersons here. You're taking on, talk about the team that you guys are facing here in a tables match.
Yeah, we got me and C-Dub. We've only been in MLW for a little bit, couple months. But something about that dang Beaumaye Fight Club has just rubbed us the wrong way. They just keep sticking their nose in our business. I don't know what it is. We're just trying to get in there, get our feet wet, but they don't seem to like us being there. So we figured, let's settle it with a tables match. Now, I've never been in a tables match. C-Dub, on the other hand, he's been in every single sort of match there is. So he's not nervous. He's gave me a couple pointers. He's gave me a couple, what to watch out for. So we'll see. Having those foreign objects in the ring, creating a little bit of chaos in there, that'll be interesting. We'll see.
I'm sure you'll pick up on it quick when C-Dub may yell, Brock, get the tables.
Yeah.
You watch enough wrestling to know what that means.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be crystal clear.
Yeah. Arn, what do you think about him jumping into his first tables match? How does that feel, Dad, watching your son in his first tables match?
Well, he's going to be subjected to every kind of match there is, probably for the rest of his career. So it's better to just go ahead and get him out of the way and understand what the concept is. Just remember that the table is the key. The table's not only a weapon, but that's how you win the match. So you got to have your strategy. It's not going to be a headlock takeover type match. It's going to be what's more like a bar fight, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And so, man, guys, check it out again. I'll throw it up on the screen this Saturday, 10 Eastern, right here on the same platform, YouTube. make sure you subscribe to MLW, and you will get to check out that match as well as a loaded card here. MLW really putting together some great shows, and so you can check that out there on Saturday. The next event I want to talk about with Brock and Arn is this weekend as well. It's a loaded weekend, and that's Retro Toy Convention, Greenville, South Carolina, November 22nd through the 24th. Arn, you've been talking about this one for a couple of weeks. Not only are you and Brock going to be there, Aaron's coming with you, Smokey's making the trip. It's going to be a family affair in Greenville, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, you know, these folks from the Retro Toy Convention, they're inviting us into their world, and we're grateful. We're happy to be there. I think we'll bring some traffic in from wrestling fans, which in Greenville, South Carolina, I've said many, many times, is as good a wrestling town as there's ever been. I would say worldwide, not only just national. So we're going to get in there and make it easy to get those books that I've been talking about. You know, my graphic novel is going to be available.
The comic book. Yes.
Yep, they will be on hand. Plenty of those. We will have
on hand, baby. I love it.
We will have the.
Let me. I got one here. I got to show it. There it is, right there.
Beautiful.
My Life is the Enforcer.
Hardcover too. That's the real deal, right there, Paul.
Yeah. See, and this is when he wrote a note to me, Brock. It was very special to me, and yeah, it's a fantastic read. This is your opportunity to not only meet Arn and Brock. Arnold, you can buy a copy. He'll sign it for you. It's right there. So what an awesome opportunity.
Let's don't forget about the action figures.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they will be available. Pictures, you know, 8x10s, T-shirts. We got some awesome hats that I think people around Greenville are going to love when you see the hats. They're awesome.
Arn's like a walking Amazon or a Toys R Us. Whatever you need, he'll just open up a sport coat and it'll all drop down right there. And so make sure you stop by he and Brock's table. I got to experience just the feeling of being with you guys when we were out in Iowa. And you want to talk about energy, and the line was just wrapped around for Arn and Brock. And so make sure you come out and see them both. What an experience. So kind to the fans, takes time for everybody. You will not be disappointed, I tell you that.
Couldn't said it better myself. I can't wait to get there and just say thank you to all fans for the last 42 years that have supported us. And we appreciate it.
If you can't make it to Greenville, don't worry. They're not done. They're just getting started, because after Thanksgiving, which I know we're all looking forward to Thanksgiving and enjoying some time with our family here soon, they're going to head down to Winston-Salem and be there for WrestleCade and that huge event. Always a big weekend for you, Arn and Brock. You guys have been there together for the last few years. I know you're looking forward to that one too.
Yep, Brock's going to have a match, him and CW, both days, Saturday and Sunday. And that is, you got to see this event to realize the magnitude of it. You may have as many as, I don't know, Brock, what do you think, 100 talent pass through those doors?
More than that, I think I heard the number last year was 30,000 people foot traffic. So basically everybody in the business that's not tied down to one of the major companies, you know, past and present. I can't think of another event that's like it other than, you know, the big WrestleCon
maybe. Yeah.
But that's piggybacking off Mania. This is just its own standalone thing, which makes it that much more impressive. And on top of that, it's Thanksgiving weekend. So that all falls into how impressive AML Tracy has all the work they've done to build that event over the last couple of years.
Yeah, Tracy Myers does a first-class job. Him and Brian and his entire team, they do a fantastic job down there. Not only is it meet and greets, it's wrestling events, it's live podcast shows, it's a full experience. And so if you're looking to maybe run out, get away from the wife who wants to shop maybe, and you want to go enjoy some time with the buddies, man, head down to Winston-Salem, daddy, and check out your favorite wrestlers. They'll all be there. I know I've seen a lot of even folks with AEW, Ring of Honor, all independent wrestling will be down there, and it's going to be a great time. And come support them. Bring those Hershey bars with almonds for Arn.
No.
No. Let's take.
Edit that, cut that out.
We can't piggyback that with Thanksgiving dinner, which Aaron does an amazing job with. Let's just skip the candies.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're trying to. Yeah, the old man's on the verge of being diabetic. I mean, it's ridiculous. Some of these people show up with 4 of the huge gimmick ones that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see 4 of those in a day. It's like, God dang.
Yeah.
Brock, do you have a favorite candy bar? Can we transition it maybe?
No, not even for me.
No?
I appreciate the sentiment, but my God.
Okay. We're killing the Andersons with all the sugar. Let's
we're
not make them type 2. Yeah.
Take a break from the candies. God bless you for thinking of me, but
thank y'all. But dang.
Yeah, if you're gonna spend money, buy an autograph or a T-shirt. Okay, not candy bars. I love it. You guys are hilarious.
That'll work.
All right. Good stuff. Guys, before we get into the questions, I have a comment tab and I just see nothing but questions. There was one more piece of business that I wanted to get to. And listen, I'm just going to say in advance, Marcus, I love you. And because I love you, this is why I do it to you. He sent me a video, Marcus D'Angelo, huge help to this show. Helps out with the social media. We got to hang out with him in Iowa, and just a great all-around guy. He's getting into the business, and you know this, Arn. He has sent you clips of his match. Well, he just sent me a video promo that he did. He's wrestling for IWC out of Pittsburgh. And I thought, what better critiques or what better guys to have watched this video than Arn and Brock? So I thought we'd take about 1 minute and 50 seconds, if that's okay at time. Let's watch the promo that is put together. And then I'd love to hear some of your guys' feedback. What do you think?
Rock and roll, and it's good exposure getting on our podcast here. Not a bad place to plug him, right?
There you go. What do you think, Brock?
Yeah, let's see what Marcus has got. I'm looking forward to this.
All right, here we go. Let's check it out.
Is Sam Handyman really the kind of man that you want as your high-stakes champion? Let's look at the facts, and then you decide. Sam won the IWC high-stakes title by waiting until the very end of the Battle Royal last year and then attacking Spencer Slade from behind. That makes him an opportunist and a coward. Sam claims to be a handyman, but has anyone ever actually seen him fix anything or met this Mrs. Abernathy who he claims to do repair work for? The answer is no, and that's because he's a fraud. Sam has poor taste in clothing, and his hair makes him look like he should be LARPing at a Renaissance festival. He's an ugly nerd, and that makes him a bad champion. Sam claims to be a man of the people, but does he even have a podcast or any sponsors? The answer is no, and that's because he sucks. What the IWC fans deserve is a high-stakes champion like Marcus D'Angelo. Marcus is brave and athletic and would never stoop to a low like cheating to win. Marcus is very handy and once built an entertainment center from IKEA without even looking at the instructions. Marcus shaves his head, so having terrible hair like Sam will never be an issue. Also, he's incredibly handsome and dresses impeccably. Marcus has 4 podcasts with some of the biggest names in wrestling history and is backed by countless fantastic sponsors like Blue Chew, Manscaped, Mando, Via, and many, many more. To recap, Sam Handyman, coward, fraud, ugly, sucks. Marcus D'Angelo, brave, athletic, IKEA, handsome, podcasts. Who would you rather have as your IWC high-stakes champion? Paid for and approved by the voice of a generation, award-winning podcaster and future high-stakes champion Marcus D'Angelo.
There it is. You saw it December 7th. What do you think? Any initial comments? Whoever wants to go first.
You want me to go first, Pops?
Yeah, buddy.
I thought it was great. I was thinking it was just going to be like a regular run-of-the-mill backstage promos with a stick man saying, "Hey, what do you think about so-and-so?" But he used his experience with y'all, his editing experience, all that, everything he does for y'all with the podcast, and he made his own sort of, it was damn near a political ad.
You're right. Yes.
It's very different. And being different, I think, makes him stand out. I don't know how Pops feels. He would have much more of a stronger opinion on it.
Yeah.
Well, this is where I'm having to evolve as the business changes. When you told me he was going to do a promo, I pictured him with the green screen behind him and just pointing his finger and his point of view at his opponent and doing what we did in the past. And whether he went to another level and used everything available to him, which I think is pretty dang creative. I mean, it really was. It felt like a political ad, but it certainly used a lot of stuff that wasn't available to my generation, which means he's a smart guy. Things have evolved, and he got my attention. That's for sure.
Listen, even if he can't wrestle, I know who I'm calling if I need some furniture put together. I'll tell you that right now. It's Mr. IKEA. And
He didn't even look at the instruction manual. He didn't read nothing.
Boy, he's so smarmy and such an asshole character. It was great though. And you know what? He's only been doing this for just a couple months, right? Training. Yep. And so it's just really cool to see him. And we're big fans, friends of Marcus. And man, you know, Arn said it, this is a big platform, but we want to support you, brother. And just love what you're doing and all the hard work. And that took some creativity. So it was really cool to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, listen, guys, thank you for enduring and enjoying some of the opening here and going through some things. I see we have super chats coming in. Remember, if you want to give back to Arn Anderson and everything that we're doing here, leverage that super chat function. I already have a few here. Those are what I'm going to start with and make sure that I get to as we go through here the show this week, and then we'll jump over and go to some other questions. We're going to start with Michael Jensen. Arn, I'll throw it on the screen. He says, Arn, what made certain jobbers, enhancement talent now, great to work with? I remember growing up, guys like Iron Mike Sharp, the Brooklyn Brawler, the Mulkey brothers, the Milk White Mulkeys. They always lost. How did they always end up on TV with all you guys?
Well, the most important thing about our business is talent. You can look at the way a person is positioned on TV and you can judge it two ways. The fact that George South has not won a lot of matches has nothing to do with the quality of talent that we're talking about with George. Mike Sharp, big, rugged, talented. It just so happened that most of his career was on big television, which was WWE, and he didn't win a lot. But he was out there showing that he had talent. And it's jobbers is a word that I don't like. It's been called enhancement talent. I just say it's a guy that hasn't gotten his break yet. That's the way I refer to it, because every one of us have been there at one time or another, or most of us. God knows I got throttled with my time with Bill Watts every single week. I turned out okay. So that's one of those things that you looked at a guy's talent who was there. He may have a job during the week. He came to TV one day a week, and his job was to enhance whoever he was wrestling. If you know your position, you go out and do the best job possible. There's a chance. There's always a chance something good could happen for you. Look at me.
No, for sure. No, good stuff. And I'll never forget. I always will remember the Mulkeys and how they accidentally won that match to get him into the Crockett Memorial Cup. And I was talking to Tully about the Mulkeys and their win, and he just started, when I interviewed him, just started laughing uncontrollably. And then I lost it because he was laughing so hard. But just fond memories. Did you ever keep up with the Mulkeys or ever hear whatever happened to the Mulkey brothers?
Well, the fact that what you just said, you know what they remember about him, the fans? Not that they got throttled every single week, that they won a match.
That they went to the Memorial Crockett Cup, the Jim Crockett Memorial. Yeah.
That's what is remembered about those
Very
guys
true.
After all the losses, that they won one. That tells you about our business.
For sure. All right, Darren Staley, he is the pot stirrer here on the show. He wants to know, what is it that Brock did as a kid or teen that got him in the most trouble with AA? Is there something, anything that Brock did as a kid or teen that really just grinded Arn's gears or got him in some trouble? Now, Arn, I know you were on the road and you were doing a lot of traffic, so maybe we bring Aaron in and find out what it is.
I'm gonna let
Really
Brock
only
handle
be
this one.
There should only really be one answer that I would imagine. Which one do you think, Pops?
I'm gonna leave this to you. Most of the stuff I never heard about anyway. Mom took care of the discipline. There's got to be something.
You want me to tell him the one with the magazine?
It's up to you.
I love it.
Shit, Mom's gonna be horrified. All right, we can do that.
He's got his headphones on. She can't hear.
So I'm like 7 years old. So there's an 11-year difference between me and Barrett. So imagine this. I'm 7. I'm in first grade, but my brother is in high school. So the genius he put a penthouse forum underneath the bathroom sink that we shared. He had it very visible. So I'm 7. I see this. Without getting too crude, I'm like, it is what it is. My first thought was, somebody's got to see this. One of my buddies has got to see this.
Oh man!
So I snag it, and my buddy Will Brown lives 2 houses up. He lives 2 houses up. I'm like, I got to go show Will this. Knock on the door. His mother answers the door.
Oh no!
I'm like, hey, is Will here? She's like, yeah. She's like, come on in. Run up there. I have this little gimmick bag that it's stuffed in. And I run up. I'm like, Will, you got to see this. Show it to him. He's like, oh my God. Without being too crude, there was a midget Santa involved in the magazine.
Oh no!
So I was so shady when I ran up the stairs that naturally Will's parents.
Of course, radar's going off.
There was something up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought I was cool as a cucumber. So they walk in, see what the little shit from down the street had brought to their son and brought in their house. They get a hold of the parents. They're livid. They're mortified because now the word's going to spread around the neighborhood what their little shit 7-year-old had done. So I get home, I get reamed. Might have got the belt. Probably deserved it if I did. Don't remember. But I remember the most vivid thing I remember was that the old man, in his infinite wisdom, made me apologize to my brother for taking his personal property. Not the fact, and my mom, that's where him and Mom differed.
Right.
Like, really? Like, he shouldn't have had it out in the open. Like,
right.
How plain surgery was he to have it just out willy-nilly? But I remember that being, he's like,
that was a bone of contention.
Yeah. And fast forward 20 years. This was a couple of years ago. Got brought up. It was a sore subject for a while. And it got brought up with Will's parents. They were all out and about. And it got brought up. And Will's mom looked at my mom and said, God, poor Will. He never looked at Christmas the same way again. So I killed Christmas for Will.
Oh, man. And what a great story right around this holiday season. I mean, it just brings it all together. Darren, was that a home run or what? You weren't expecting anything that good. That's good stuff. Oh, Brock, it's funny. It's funny those years for sure, because I'm sure at least a lot of guys my age can have similar style stories of those years and things like that happening. That's for sure. Bringing it back to my memory. Brock, another one for you. I don't know how I transition out of that one. Here we go. Okay. But we're going to do it. Brock, what is it like working with CW and for MLW? How you like working with CW and working for
That's easy. Working with CW has been one of the smartest moves and one of the smartest occurrences I think that's happened for me so far in this journey. Tagging with him, I learned something new every time we step in there, and he's that similar style. You ain't going to see C-Dub doing anything off the top, any flashy dives out to the outside. He keeps it in the ring, ground attack. Now he does throw a mean super kick, which is wild, but that's about as far as he goes. The biggest benefit of tagging with him is he can tell me things that the old man can't, because the old man has to decide sometimes whether he's going to be a dad or if he's going to be a coach. And I'm sure that's a fine line to walk. But C-Dub can fill in the blanks and not BS me and be like, hey, this was good, change this. And working for MLW has been quite the experience so far. I didn't know what to expect when we got there, but ever since we've got there, Court and everybody that works there has been fantastic. All the boys in the back welcomed us with open arms. It's been quite the experience.
Talk about the Rogue Horsemen a little bit. Your group, how you enjoying being a part of that?
Me, Bobby, I knew from AEW, and he was always a gentleman, always a class act. I got to wrestle him one time. That was an experience, and he was always just a gentleman. Like every time I saw him, he was reading a book in the back, which I thought was different. Brett, I did not know much about, but just in the short time that I've been around him, I can see that he has his eyes on going far in this business. And I think he's doing just that right now. So us four together, who knows where we can go? The potential is unlimited. And there's a lot of belts out there that we got our eyes on.
Nice. Guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, go to MLW, their website, and you can get a Rogue Horseman t-shirt too and support the group, support Brock and the group. We'll keep it going. Let's see. Arn will change things up a little bit. Graham Seidel wants to know, ask Arn, who is your Super Bowl pick now that we're getting close to the playoffs, and who wins? You just can't give us the picks. He wants to know, Graham wants to know, who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
Well, Brock and I both, I think, are big fans of Detroit Lions. We like the coach.
Yes.
We like the talent. We like the fact that they have came from a checkered past to being as good as anybody in the NFL. I happen to be a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs simply because it's not that they win all the time so much as they're fun to watch. They're innovative. They do things that no one else does in the league. That would be my pick for the most entertaining and probably best Super Bowl in my mind right now, if I was choosing, would be those two guys.
And then you have Detroit going over?
Nope.
Kansas City winning for third time.
Kansas City.
I'm coming to you next, Brock. So you're going Kansas City. Okay. Now, Brock, I saw you shaking your head a little bit while Dad was talking. What were you thinking?
Well, we are Carolina Panthers fans, so that's our team. Now, I understand more than anybody, it is tough to watch them year in and year out. They have been on a downslide since Cam left, since Greg Olsen left, since Kuechly left, all the boys, Thomas Davis, you name them, we were stacked. And ever since then, they've all slowly retired, and we've had to rebuild. And I understand it's been a slow process. In the meantime of that rebuilding, the old man has conveniently hitched his wagon to the best team in the league that is on the verge of the first ever three-peat. That's just a convenient little tidbit. Now, everybody, I think I can speak for anybody whose team blows. If your team blows, Detroit should be your team, just on the sheer fact of everything that city has gone through.
Yes.
Everything those fans have gone through with how god awful they've been. Oh, even with Barry Sanders. I think that's such a unique, fun story, and it's so random. And I wish we had Dan Campbell as our coach, because see he's built a culture there. And I think everybody envies that. So I'll say I like Detroit in the NFC over Philly in the championship game. And then Kansas City. I'm going to go Kansas City over Pittsburgh, sheerly on the home field advantage. And who knows if those refs get involved late.
Like they like to do with Kansas City.
Yep. And then I'll go Detroit in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you know, a Steeler fan sitting here, and I don't want to say anything to jinx those boys, but I am pleasantly surprised and you know, to your point, if your team sucks, Detroit, get it, totally get it. We get to watch a Thanksgiving now where we see a competitive Detroit Lions team, which is so nice now, right?
Yep.
And Dan Campbell, I mean, come on. But the Steelers, what we were coming into and predicted to be last in the North, and to see what they're accomplishing, I'm very excited. I don't take any team for granted, even the Cleveland Browns coming up this Thursday. We'll see what happens. But for you, Brock, independent, to have us even at that level, it just tells you the kind of season that we're having. So excited to hear that. But I would love to see Detroit knock off Kansas City if that is the Super Bowl as well. I'm with you. All right, let's see what I'm going to see what the chat's saying to this, because I'm sure we've just stirred up a hornet's nest, and that'll be fun. So let's see. Come on, scroll down, mouse. There's so many comments in the feed. Let's see here. Lil Patty says go Chiefs. Darren Staley says go Steelers. Dominic D'Angelo is here with us, and he says my Jets suck. What in the world is going on with the Jets, boys? I mean, they fired their GM today.
Saw that. Yeah, that's.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I hadn't heard that.
Yes.
Well, there's nobody left to fire except the quarterback, is there?
Yeah.
That's about it.
He's about all that's left.
Oh,
They got to be cursed. I mean, that has to be it.
Yeah. I think Dominic's favorite player is still Vinny Testaverde. And he was there a very long time ago. But
Panthers legend Vinny Testaverde. Signed him at 46.
Oh man, CG, good to see you. Lots of guys are here with us tonight. Scotty Reed, what's up? Arn and Brock and Paul. Yesterday was my birthday. 43 years on this planet. Scotty, happy birthday from all of us, man.
Happy birthday, my man.
Let's scroll through here because there's a lot, and I want to make sure I get enough here. Brock. Dylan says, huge fan. What is it like working with CW, which you kind of answered. You answered that about MLW. Let's continue going on. Arn and Brock, excited to see you. Amy Vaughn is here in the chat. You both know Amy.
Miss Amy, hello.
Hi.
She wants to see a new Brock Anderson shirt, just saying. So she wants a new tee. So what do you got on?
This is the whole crew right here.
Okay. Where can they buy that one at?
I don't know if
is it just locally if they come see you at the shows?
Yes, we'll have them at WrestleCade. We'll have them Greenville next week.
All right, there you go. So if you go see them, make sure you grab one there. Let's see. Lil Patty Brock, I love your Southern accent. That's all in caps. Right. Mr. T94, ask Brock, is there anyone in WWE you'd love to face in the future, and why is it Braun Breaker? In my opinion, that's a future WrestleMania match.
That one would have to be quick because everybody knows that man is just pure power. If he cuts you in half with that spear, that's about all she wrote. So that one might have to be some shenanigans at play if it's me and Braun, because I don't know if I can handle him toe to toe.
It's something, because you talk about second generational wrestlers. You look so much like your father. Braun is so much a Rick and Scott, look alike too. Like there's no denying he's their kid. He's obviously blood related to the Steiner brothers. It's just it's incredible.
He looks like Rick, but to me, he sounds like Scott. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that.
You're right. You nailed it. And he's got a motor, and but it would be fun to see, man. That's for sure. Because you got a guy like Randy Orton, right? He doesn't look like Cowboy Bob Orton. I mean, not to me. I don't know, the hair and just the physique and all of that. But you guys all look so much alike. We have a question here from Darren, a super chat, so I'll throw it on the screen. Arn, I asked this of you a while back. I want to know if Brock has the same answer. Father and son in a shoot wrestling match today. Who wins?
It depends on the setting. If it's around the house, the old man will grab a foreign object and probably hit me at this stage. Because not too long ago, I had him on a blast double over the couch. And it's convenient that when he was teetering over that couch, my mom was yelling, it's like, stop, his neck. But he had me down, I'm just getting the boots put to me. So that's some convenient shit, ain't it?
Oh, for sure. You are good, man. This is great. This adds a whole new dimension. I think we need to have Brock back more often, Arn. He's telling all the inside stuff.
If I remember correctly, the answer was last time this was proposed, I admitted I can't handle the kid anymore. He is out of my range.
Yeah, well,
but you didn't deny the foreign object aspect.
No, I have told you that I'll wait till you go to sleep and hit you with something.
Which is a crime. That's a criminal act.
That's probably something that would have to be, you would have to be arrested for that. That's like a felony, I'm sure.
I'm positive.
Oh man, this is good stuff. Let me see what else we got here. Daisy, we have some more super chats. Darren Staley, he's opening up the checkbook tonight, guys. He's throwing some super chats in here. I asked this of Arn a while, but okay, we did do that one. Here comes another one. All right, let's see here. Well, let's throw this one on the screen. I have so many questions. I really need to know how Brock feels about cheese. We know Dad's out on cheese on the burger, and it's been well documented on this podcast. Where are you at with cheese, Brock?
You have to have cheese on it. Any kind of cheese. American, cheddar, Monterey Jack, Munster, jalapeno, you know, the whole gimmick. You have to have cheese on it. Now, it's odd because Pops does like cheese in certain respects, but simply on the burger, he doesn't like it. On it, like pizza, he'll eat pizza. Sometimes he'll just eat the cheese and meat and onions and mushrooms off a pizza and leave the crust. So in that setting, he likes cheese, but not on a burger. I've never understood it. Just bacon, mayo, onions.
Here's the way I've explained it in the past. If everybody's memory will afford them to remember this, I just said I don't like cheese where it overwhelms the sandwich. Like if it's a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich, cheese just doesn't fly for me on there. If it overrides the taste of whatever you're eating because the cheese overwhelms it, that's the issue.
So the commercial that says cheese, it makes everything better, so don't forget the cheese. You're out on that.
Disagree.
Huh.
It makes some things impossible to have without it, like pizza.
Okay.
Can't have a pizza without cheese. I just don't like extra cheese and some of those things of that nature that becomes the focus.
Daniel Thompson says, I'm right there with you, Arn. Daniel Thompson also says Brock Anderson versus Braun Breaker would be fire. Amy Vaughn says, yes, we need more Brock. So, you know, people are loving it. Let's ask a serious wrestling question. And this comes to us from a serious wrestling fan who we've all met, Bryant Haremza. He says, ask Arn and Brock, when studying opponents, what is something you look for to hopefully expose or to take advantage of during a match?
Pops, go ahead.
Guys that are dead set on doing something that they know they don't do well, but they're looking to work for the reaction versus something that is an absolute weapon for them because it can't be countered. It comes out of nowhere. It has so much torque on it. Guys that make the mistake of just doing things that they have no idea. When you dive through those ropes, especially if there's no pads on the floor, you have no idea what the end result of that landing is going to be. I have stressed to Brock, don't do anything in that ring that you can't control, whether it's offense or defensively. It's up to you to control that narrative. And if you do things that have a big question mark, it's like when I come off the top. The reason I haven't came off the top, because there's a 50-50 chance something bad's going to happen.
Brock, have you subscribed to that? I've watched you wrestle a few times, and off the top of my head, I can't remember you coming off the top rope. You are very similar in style to your dad, or are you doing any evolving to anything off the top type?
The evolution, I think, stops at me and C-Dub have incorporated the Ole knee off the top, with me being
into the shoulder.
Yes, I remember. Okay.
And that is about as far as we will go off the top. And I think that's even just from the second.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's something that you can control and hit 100% of the time. And that's the odds I like. 100% of the time you can nail that and have it have an impact, since you're working the arm anyway. It's just a higher impact weapon that you choose to use at the right time. That's good use of stuff off the top, or the second buckle, either one.
Second buckle works just as well. Could we eventually see a spike pile driver? Similar move to the old brain busters.
Of course you could.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course you could.
Guys, I'm going to ask you a fun question. This comes to us from ATF Media. Did you, and I'm going to ask this first, did either of you get to watch the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson match on Netflix? Did you get to check it out, Brock?
Sure did. I went over to the house and watched it. We watched it together. That was
okay. Did you watch it buffer and then finally get to see it finally come? Because that was my experience, I think, with most of us. But
yeah, there was a while where it wasn't getting past 25%, and it just wouldn't kick back on, and you'd have to restart it. And if you got it, you just couldn't touch the remote. Just put the remote far away and hope that it stayed on.
I tell you what, it was a lesson in promotion, man. When you think about what they said, they did an $18 million gate. I think that came out today. Tyson makes $20 million. Paul makes $40 million. Netflix had 60 million people watching. And ATF said, man, it would have been a better match to watch Hands of Stone Ron Garvin come out and fight on Friday, which I can't disagree with him. He obviously would have knocked out Tyson or Paul in the first round. What did you guys think, though, overall?
I think it was a genius of promotion, because everybody knew what was up. Everybody knew what was going to be the end result. But for some reason, everybody, I think, like me, took the hook. They thought that's Mike Tyson in there.
Yes.
Like, he's still Mike Tyson. I don't care if he's 58. All it takes is one. That's it.
Well, and he got he got in shape too. He looked good, you know.
Oh yeah, you see those training tapes, and he looks just like he did back in the day. He's still killing it. And then I don't know if it was just age plus being 11 o'clock. I'm sure he had a long day. Who knows what the call time was?
Right. That's usually, and for him, that's probably time to turn down the covers and go night night.
And he looked tired when he got in there.
All right. What'd you think, Arn?
Well, you're talking now, you're looking behind the scenes and you're looking at the real stuff. You're not looking at, the fact of what time of day was it where Tyson was, and how does that affect a 58-year-old man? Well, I'm 66, and I can tell you I'm wiped out by that time of night. We all thought different things in our household. What I thought would or should happen was inside of 3 rounds, Tyson knocks the guy out. If the guy gives a winning performance against any Mike Tyson, I don't care what era, what age, what anything, if he stands his ground for three rounds, he has accomplished all that he has to be accepted. And if Tyson knocks you out, what, you're going to have somebody the next day say you're the shits? Mike Tyson knocked you out? Mike Tyson will knock out everybody walking down the street. I don't care who it is. And half of the boxers that are in the business. I'm sure it just depends on how the wind blows that day. So I would have loved to have seen Mike, because I know Mike sparingly. I know him to see him and speak to
Okay.
him. I've been around him a few times, and he is such a gentleman. He's such a wrestling fan. I would love to have seen him KO the kid and walk out of there on his last boxing match a winner.
It would have felt like a Rocky style story,
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. I think I read something today. Holyfield's ready to go number 3 with Tyson. I'm sure he is after he saw the money that was made in that fight, but I don't think we're going to get that. CG is up next. My buddy Charlie, he says, Brock, are you enjoying wrestling? And do you have an entrance theme? If so, what is it? Thank you in advance.
Of course, I'm enjoying wrestling. Of course. It beats every time I talk to one of my buddies. They have a 9 to 5 cubicle job. They say, I envy you. And sometimes it's really hard to travel, everything that goes along with it. But the payoff is getting in that ring in front of those people and getting a reaction from them. So of course I love it. And what was the second half?
Entrance theme. Do you have a set entrance theme?
Not since I've left AEW. I don't have a set theme.
All right. CG also wants to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. He says, Arn, when Jim Crockett ran Starrcade on Thanksgiving night, were you ever able to spend part of Thanksgiving at home with the family? Or Brock, what do you remember about Thanksgivings growing up? So Arn, I'll start with you. I know you were wrestling, and Brock was probably very young, if born at all, back in the Crockett days.
Well, it varied from year to year. There were some Thanksgivings that we would run an afternoon show and an evening show. Sometimes there were years where it was just in the evening, so we would actually get to have the meal at the house, because it was usually Charlotte that they ran on Thanksgiving. So, I mean, it varied from year to year. I know that Christmas, there was always a afternoon show and then an evening show, but it was like the afternoon show was Greenville, maybe something you could get up with you had the little kids, you could do Santa in the morning, still make the afternoon shot, run down and come back. And now you were there for that evening. Christmas night, you were in Charlotte, so you would get to sleep in your bed. You wouldn't bitch about that, because the thing that mattered, and the only thing that mattered in those days, house was full, Christmas was going to be covered, no problem.
Yeah. Brock, first memories of Thanksgiving time, any special memories that you have as we start to approach the holidays growing up? I know one of the things I talked to about your dad, he has some regrets about not always being around with the wrestling business, but what are some memories or thoughts that you have?
With me, he was around.
Good.
I don't remember a Thanksgiving that he wasn't, but I do remember he would be, if they had a house show loop, it would be Thanksgiving Thursday, and he was out the next day.
Okay.
So I do remember that, but I can't remember him not ever being at a Thanksgiving for me. Unless the only thing I can remember would be, I don't know if Dad would remember, what did they run that when WWE ran that Starrcade like live event? Was that
Charlotte they did that, or Greensboro?
I don't recall.
I think it was the weekend after. I think it was just a special live event, but I don't think it was Thanksgiving Day.
All right. Well, Daisy Mama is going to ask a food question, so we'll jump back towards food. This is what I love about Ask Arn Almost Anything, is we get a variety. And she says, what are some specific foods that's local to where you guys live that you love to eat? Being from West Virginia, I love pepperoni rolls, ramps, and buckwheat cakes. Anything specific? Arn, your eyes are as big as saucers. Anything specific to you guys that might be more kind of in your area?
Well, I don't know if it's so much about the area, but holiday meals are different from, we just kind of, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we kind of isolate those 2 days off, and we have like all our favorites. It's like we have a steak, prime rib, and lobster tails on Christmas.
Mm.
Double back to Thanksgiving, and it's always Aaron cooks a turkey. We get one of those hams from what's the place we get the
Honey
ham
baked?
from?
Yeah.
Honey baked hams. We get the stuffed mushrooms. I love the deviled eggs. Erin makes gravy. She makes where's some of the other stuff we have, son?
Green bean casserole, which
Green
is
bean casserole.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, stuffing, dressing, that whole
Now
deal.
Dressing, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Now was the question more what's regional, like regional?
Yeah,
food?
like is there anything like more regional to you too, a type of food?
Yeah, I mean Nice's sausage, without a doubt. You got to have that in the fridge. You got to have when you're out. If you're at a barbecue joint, Eastern style. There's two styles in North Carolina. Western's like the saucy sauce, thick sauce. Eastern's vinegar based,
Okay.
and North Carolina's more pork based, so more pig. So when you pull pork, you get the vinegar based. That's live. Bojangles is king in this state, and I know they've started to spread out last probably 10 years, but that is king in this state. You can't go.
Do you have a go-to order, Brock?
You can't go to a Panthers tailgate without seeing a multitude of bow boxes.
Okay.
10-piece supreme, honey mustard. If you can find the Dijon honey mustard, they don't sell it at every place. That's superior to the regular.
This is awesome.
Cookouts, those are
Okay.
starting to spread, but that's from here. Anything else, Pops? Anything locally?
We're all just getting hungry at this point.
Yeah, now I'm starving.
I'm going to give them a plug because I bet most people don't know this, or maybe they do. We only have one Publix that's on our side of town. Publix has the best fried chicken of anybody in the state, if you ask me. And I asked Aaron, maybe not for Brock, but just the stuff that they put out in the deli is unbelievable. It's better, I think, than places that just specialize in chicken.
Like Kentucky Fried Chicken, all those types of places.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's and we didn't find this until about year ago?
Yeah,
maybe about a year ago. We just happened to try some, and man, for me, if it's fried chicken, it's got to have the thick crust, and you got to eat the skin. It's the whole shooting match.
This is awesome. Darren Staley said we need a new show called Meet the Lundys, where we just talk family stuff. I'm a buyer on that all day long. So there you go. Brock, another question for you comes in. Do you use the Spine Buster or DDT at all? So some of these fans are still getting acclimated, still watching some stuff of you online, haven't gotten to watch a ton. And so just curious if you're using the Spine Buster or DDT.
Yes to both.
Okay.
Yes.
And he does them well. So
put that little hitch in the Spine Buster.
He does them both very, very well. And they're, it's not copying anybody because let's face it, we all stole the DDT from Jake. That's the fact. Every rest of us are thieves. The Spine Buster's mine, and he has gotten the whip and the elevation and all the things that matter, and mostly hitting it when nobody sees it coming. So he has mastered it already, which I'm very proud that he is using it.
Yeah, added it to his repertoire for sure.
Yep.
Maybe have you done the Gourd Buster? Yeah, remember? Have you seen Dad's Gourd Buster? I'm sure you've watched a lot of that, a lot of him. Yeah,
I've incorporated that a couple times for sure.
Very cool. Kenneth Ayers, Arn. Any fond memories of running Johnson City, Tennessee, the Freedom Hall Civic Center?
Always $100,000 house, and it was 180. It's like 180 miles across the mountain from Charlotte. You would go down to 74 and take that across. And in the oldest of days, you would, I think it's 25, Highway 25 would take you over the mountain. It was like a shortcut to Johnson City. But if you went that way, it was a little bit more mountain driving, but it was, it was 180 miles. That was a piece of cake. And it was always $100,000, which is everybody in town.
They love their wrestling. It sounds like for sure down there, Arn. We just got another super chat in as we're about to wrap up. If you have a question and wanted to ask while we have Brock here, we're about to go close her down here in just a minute. Darren Staley says, for a big PLE event payoff, would there be an exhibition match, Arn versus Brock, in the same vein of Tyson versus Paul? If it's 20 million and 40 million, Arn, are you going to dust off the boots?
Yeah, man. If the split and the mount is the same, yep.
Arn's in. I love it. And here he is. He's back again. My last question, another $5. What wrestler has Brock learned the most from aside from Arn?
Easy. C-Dub.
CW.
Hands down.
Is there anybody outside of Arn and CW?
Lodi, of course, because he's been a trainer since day one.
There you go. Well, guys, listen, this has been an absolute blast. Brock, I want to thank you so much for joining us. This has been, would you come back and do it again with us sometime?
I would. If there's a demand for it, I'll be happy to come back.
They want their own TV show. Meet the Andersons. I think that's more what we'll call it. Stick with the group name here. But I think there's going to be some demand. So, but we'll keep it special and we'll do it every once in a while. This feels like a holiday type event this time around. But man, I had so much fun with you. You bring in the personality. We want to support you as far as with your wrestling career as it's continuing on. So proud of you to see what you're doing with MLW. And Dad keeps me up to date with what's going on, and we make sure we publicize all your appearances and talk about your merch. He's very proud of you. We're all very proud of you, and I really appreciate you so much joining us for this special edition.
I appreciate you, Paul, and everybody out there who has kept supporting me. Thank y'all as well. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to go to some of the closing here, Arn, as we always do, and you can hang on here with us, Brock, and we'll wrap it up. But don't forget where you can buy some of the merch, OneTrueSport.com, rocking the Four Horsemen gear here. And if you can't make it to go see Arn and Brock locally, this is where you can find the gear. So check it out. Keep an eye out. We're going to do a nice promotion for Black Friday for that weekend, the weekend of Thanksgiving. I think we're going to do a 20% off all weekend at the merch store. So make sure you take advantage of that. And that's for everything in the store, including those Four Horsemen jackets and all the great stuff that we have over there. So check us out over there at OneTrueSport.com and take a look at that. Also, again, as we mentioned it, the comic books. Arn's going to have them in hand as he makes his way around the different appearances. He mentioned the action figures. There's more action figures of Arn on the way. 2025 is going to be a fun year. Also, the video game from Ultra Pro Wrestling. We've mentioned it a few times. Arn's going to be a downloadable character there. You can follow them. They have their own Patreon. It's patreon.com/Ultra Pro Wrestling. All one word. A lot of great wrestlers that are going to be downloadable, dream matches that you're going to be able to have, including Arn Anderson. But man, this has been great. I want to update you on our schedule as we close out the year. So for those of you, grab your calendar right now and a circle on the calendar. The next time that we're all going to get together is Tuesday, December 3rd. We'll continue on with July 1995, walking through Arn's career. And then we're coming back the very next week. And that's going to be Ask Arn Almost Anything Tuesday, December 10th. And so we're doing back-to-back shows in December, and that's going to be where we close out the year. We're going to take a break to end the year and then come back strong. I believe it's January. Is it the 6th, Arn, is what I told you, that Tuesday? Whatever that first Tuesday, full Tuesday in January is, Arn and I will be back then.
Is it the 7th?
Is it the 7th? Okay, January the 7th. I don't have my 2025 calendar in front of me, but mark it for December the 3rd and December the 10th, back-to-back weeks Arn, and we're really looking forward to our final 2 shows of December 2024. Arn and I have had an absolute blast with all of you. These are so interactive now, and it is CG. Thank you. January 7th is the first Tuesday of the year. That's when it'll be our first show coming back after the holiday season. I can't say enough for all of you. Amy Vaughn, love it as always. We demand it.
Hey,
Darren Staley.
Paul,
Yes,
just
sir.
so we don't give out the wrong information, I flipped to January 24, 2024, so that's not correct.
I think January 7th is 2025. I think.
Is that a Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, 7th.
It is. Okay, good.
Okay.
Yep. So that's what it'll be. So just remember the 3rd and the 10th. That's all you got to remember for you short-term folks. 3rd and the 10th, back-to-back weeks. The next 2 aren't episodes. Everybody seems to have loved this. Amy Vaughn, Darren Staley, Kenneth Ayers. Yes, there'll be merch at the Retro Toy Con this weekend. So if you make your way there, they have merch for you there. CG says, Brock, keep up the great work, bud. Super proud of you. I knew it from the first time I saw you. You had it. You're well on your way, young man. Cheers. So lots of support here. And again, thank you all so much for being here with us. On behalf of Brock Anderson and my partner, Arn Anderson, this is Paul Bromwell, and we'll see you right back here in 2 weeks, December 3rd, on Arn